friends, welcome back to At Laura's Table. Today I want to show you a quick and easy recipe for your Instant Pot for a dessert called pâte de crème. It's a fancy French term for a decadent chocolate pudding that's sure to impress all your guests for New Year's Eve. Let's get started. So for our pâte de crème, the first thing we want to do is bring to a simmer over medium heat 1.5 cups of heavy cream and 1/2 cup of milk. I've got that heating on the stove now. Once this comes to a simmer, you're going to want to whisk in 6 ounces of bittersweet chocolate. You want to use a 60 to 65% chocolate in this recipe. I told you it was decadent. You're not going to believe how delicious this turns out. My cream and milk mixture is starting to bubble just around the edges. I wanted to make sure that I don't scorch this, and I wanted to show you how you whisk in the chocolate. And turn the heat off. You just want to whisk this in until it's all melted. Then you're going to move it to the side while you whisk together your egg yolks, 1 whole egg, some sugar, a pinch of salt, and a little vanilla. This is so simple and has so few simple real ingredients. You'll be so surprised at how delicious it is. And see, that's already melted. And we're ready to move on to the next step. All right, let me move this off the eye. Now let's whisk together our other ingredients. This is 4 egg yolks and 1 whole egg, 1/3 cup of sugar. We want 1 teaspoon of vanilla. This is how I cheat and measure my vanilla. See, you saw it. You saw it here on At Laura's Table, and 1/8 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to use the same whisk because all of this is getting mixed together. You want to whisk this together, and here in a minute, we're going to start mixing this chocolate mixture into our eggs, and we're going to have to be careful because we're basically tempering the eggs, and if we're not careful, we'll have scrambled eggs. So you have to go slow with that in the beginning. It's the only fancy technique-ish thing we're doing today, but this is a fun recipe to try in your Instant Pot. It gives individual desserts for your guests when you have them over. It's just so delicious. You're going to be so proud of yourself when you make something so rich and flavorful. So you're going to want to drizzle just a tiny bit of this in. That was just a tiny bit. And whisk, 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 whisk. And drizzle a tiny bit more. And keep whisking. That's how you keep from scrambling your eggs. See, no scrambled eggs. That was easy, and you just keep doing this till you get it all incorporated. But we're out of the danger of scrambling eggs now, so that works out good because we've gotten the temperature up a bit, and now we can add a little bit more and a little bit more and just get them well incorporated. All right, I'll keep doing this, and I'll catch you when we go to fill our ramekins. If you happen to have a wire mesh strainer, you can go one step further to make sure you have the smoothest pâte de crème your guests have ever tasted, and you can strain your pudding mixture through a wire mesh strainer before you add it to your ramekins. This makes sure there's not any tiny little chocolate chunks in your pudding mixture. If you don't have a wire mesh strainer, don't worry about it. It will still be delicious, I promise. But I do have a few tiny little specks in there. You can see them down in the bottom of my pot here, probably. This is amazing. Now we want to fill 6 individual ramekins with our pudding mixture. May have gotten a little overboard with that one. That's why we call it home cooking. We're going to cover these ramekins with a piece of foil. Then we're going to put a 1.5 cups of water in the bottom of our Instant Pot. And we're going to bake these pressurized on low for 18 minutes. And then they need to cool for at least 6 hours in our refrigerator, or even overnight. So I have individual pieces of foil. I cover each one, then I stack them on the trivet in the bottom of my Instant Pot. And I kind of stagger them around. You can stack them on top of each other in your Instant Pot. You can double this recipe. If you have more ramekins, you just cannot go past the fill line in your Instant Pot. So let's load our ramekins in our Instant Pot. So I already have a 1.5 cups of water in my Instant Pot. I'm going to load 3 of these on my trivet. Then I stack them staggered so they'll fit just like that. Now that takes me to my max fill line. So my Instant Pot, which is an 8-quart, will only hold the 6 ramekins for 1 recipe. Then I put my lid on, sealing, and put the vent to sealing. So to set your Instant Pot, I use the cake setting and put it to the less, here I use adjust, in 18 minutes. And it'll get started coming up to pressure here in just a moment. Okay, so we've done a 5-minute natural release on our pot de creme. So now we want to release the pressure on our Instant Pot and we can get our puddings out. We gotta wait for this pressure valve to go down so we know that it's safe to open our Instant Pot. There we go. This is going to be hot. Now we need to use an oven mitt to remove our puddings to this cutting board here. Ooh, they're hot. And we want to uncover them and allow them to cool to room temperature before we cover them with plastic wrap and put them in the refrigerator for at least 6 hours, if not overnight, and then we can serve them. Now I'm going to bring the camera over here because you need to see these. They're so pretty. All right, Do you see how pretty they turned out? See if I can lift this up, not burn myself. Isn't that yummy deliciousness? So this is your basic pâte de crème or a chocolate pudding recipe. This is not like your boxed chocolate pudding. This is the most decadent, rich thing you'll ever taste in your life. When these are cool and have rested in the fridge for at least 6 hours, we're gonna top this with a homemade whipped cream and a little bit of cocoa powder and a raspberry on top. I will show you these finished after I've chilled them. I went ahead and mixed up some homemade whipped cream. I'm gonna top these with the homemade whipped cream. We'll just do 2. That'll give you a good idea of what we're doing here. I filled a pastry bag because I had it. You can just put this whipped cream on with a spoon if you'd like. Then I want to sprinkle some cocoa powder over these, just because if this is a special dessert for New Year's, we want to make it extra fancy. And then we're going to top them with a raspberry. Isn't that beautiful? And it really is simple. Isn't that a beautiful dessert? I hope you enjoy making this in your Instant Pot. It's the most decadent, delicious thing you'll ever try. Thanks for watching. Like and share this video. You can like the photos in this blog post and pin them on your Pinterest boards. It's a new feature on my blog. I hope that you'll share these with your friends, and most importantly, share these wonderful desserts with your friends and family for New Year's. Happy New Year, my friends.